if you were to pick the most dangerous time, the worst time for a virus to break out here, the worst time for it to spread quickly across China and even around the world, it would be the Lunar New Year. You have hundreds of millions of people crisscrossing China, travelling overseas, and because of that mass migration, the largest mass migration annually in the world, I mean, it was just a terrible time for this virus outbreak to happen.
Australian resident Ying Wang, who lives in Melbourne, is preparing to visit Wuhan with her husband and 2 children when she hears about the outbreak.
It was a couple of days after our Christmas holiday in Melbourne. I got a video sent over from my cousin in Wuhan, and according to the video, there was suspected SARS-like pneumonia. And I asked my cousin, should I cancel my trip? We waited until probably the first week in January, and then there was an official announcement from our local government back in Wuhan saying that the disease was controllable, and then it sort of I feel relieved. So we went out. We went out with our trip.
Ying Wang and her family arrive in Wuhan on January 9. That same day, a 61-year-old man who had visited the seafood market becomes the first person to die of coronavirus. His death is kept quiet for 2 days.
During the most crucial time of the spread of disease in our region, Wuhan and Hubei were holding annual political meetings. As a result, the first death, which occurred on January 9, was not announced until January 11. After January 11, the data on deaths and confirmed cases plateaued and the numbers had not changed at all. I believe that the local authorities concealed the truth from the public due to political concerns.
On January 22, the government finally acknowledges the gravity of the situation at a press conference in Beijing.
病毒存在变异的可能，疫情存在着进一步扩大的风险。当前，政治催运、人员流动性激增，客观上加大了疫情传播的风险和防控的难度，绝不能掉以轻心。 要高度警惕。
9 people have died and 440 people are confirmed to have contracted a mysterious coronavirus as China works to stop it spreading during the Lunar New Year travel rush.
It was 22nd of January. That was the turning point. It was Wednesday, and just bad news started coming in. Started with the Chinese official news saying that it's getting much worse than they expected, and then all of a sudden, I think it was the next day, 23rd, I remember, and I woke up quite late, like 10 a.m. and suddenly, my dad just told me, oh, we can't go out now, we can't get out of our apartment.
There's been a dramatic development this morning in the Chinese city of Wuhan, which is the epicenter of an outbreak of a deadly new virus. All public transport, buses, trains, ferries and the airport have been shut down as authorities scramble to contain the spread of the coronavirus.
When the authorities decided to lock down that whole province of Hubei, that's like locking down the entire population of Italy and telling them you can't leave that province. It was really the moment when everybody knew, all right, this is a big problem.
When Wuhan went into lockdown, I think January the 23rd, and then flights and greater lockdown measures across China, this is unprecedented in the history of modern medicine. We've never tried, we know that containment can work, but it's never really been done at this large scale.
The day I learned that Wuhan was in lockdown, I felt quite shocked, and I immediately started worrying about food supply, and I had to stop everything on the day. Just started messaging everybody to find out, is that really the official news? How serious is this announcement?
By late January, Wuhan's hospitals are struggling to cope. And medical staff are under intolerable pressure. With patient numbers surging, construction begins on 2 new hospitals, with one scheduled to open in just over a week.
Even though Chinese authorities have effectively shut down several cities, the World Health Organization says it's not yet a global health emergency.
So obviously the whole world was watching very closely through January as this epidemic unfolded, and people were very concerned. A lot of experts were concerned and felt that the public health emergency of international concern should have been declared earlier. I think people were harking back to Ebola and what happened there, and they were afraid of delays that might have been very costly in terms of the ability to save people's lives.
Australia's first case of coronavirus has been confirmed in Victoria as New South Wales announces it has 2 probable cases.
So the minute we made the diagnosis of the first case in Australia, we knew how significant that was, and we knew that we wanted to culture the virus.
In a major breakthrough, Australian scientists become the first outside China to isolate the virus in a laboratory.
It's definitely growing. It started at 30, so it's 3 logs, so 1,000 times stronger.
Awesome.
So it's definitely growing.
So we've got it. Fantastic.
Yep.
CSIRO scientists begin growing the virus in their highest security laboratory, reserved for the most deadly pathogens.
We don't actually know how dangerous this virus is. We know it kills people, but we don't know how many, and we don't know exactly what the mechanism is by which this virus kills people. So at the moment we're taking the highest level of precautions.
Our staff can only usually work about 4 hours in those suits and in those conditions because it's very stressful to imagine you're actually working with such high volatile agents.
The most important thing that we're doing at the moment is growing the virus to produce more of it so that we can understand more about the characteristics of this virus and also how it behaves in our biological model so that we can see the progress of the disease.
So we will then introduce the virus into our test animals, on this occasion ferrets, because their respiratory system is very similar to humans. And the idea here is to understand how that infection progresses and how it behaves. This is very important for us to understand, because if we can't understand how the infection progresses and in which way it progresses, we can't understand how vaccines work.
I think this will be ready to harvest tomorrow.
In China, the escalating number of infections prompts a rare outburst of anger online against authorities.
我请问一下，他妈的，这个地球上还能找出第二个国家，是这么扯淡吗？你整个地球还能找出第二个国家，第二个政府像这个样子搞吗？现在的武汉市就他妈的跟地狱一样，看到他们倒地死亡，或者说各种情况。那些悲剧，今天是大年初一啊，本来是一个非常高兴喜气的日子，这个时间段，但是眼下你觉得我们武汉人民或者说一个中国人能高兴得起来吗？
在这次武汉肺炎过程当中，网民
It can be said that the more than 900 million Chinese citizens who are equipped with smartphones have been extremely dissatisfied with the situation of Wuhan pneumonia in the past 1 month or so. From my own observation, this level of dissatisfaction is unprecedented in the past 8 years. They have been tremendously dissatisfied with Wuhan local government's ineffectiveness in epidemic and disaster relief. The predicament the Wuhan people have been put into from the city lockdown, the paralysis of the local medical institutions, and the huge risk they have to face.
As authorities desperately try to stop the virus spreading, Wuhan is effectively cut off from the rest of China.
We decided to go into Hubei province to have a look what it was like right inside the virus hot zone. As we got closer and closer to Hubei, the roadblocks were becoming more serious, and in fact looked like something out of an apocalyptic movie. The police are making all the cars pull over to the side.
So, basically, that's the border that way. The police have told us that we can drive in, but we can't drive out.
We drove through a series of ghost towns. I mean, nobody on the streets, shops closed, the shutters were down. And this is during Spring Festival. Normally, this is a time when you'd have fireworks, families, friends gathering to have meals together, celebrating, being happy, and instead it was completely dead and in fact pretty eerie.
The outbreak of the coronavirus in China has finally been declared a global health emergency after a rapid escalation in the number of infections during the past week. There are almost 8,000 cases in 18 countries, including 9 in Australia.
So here I am sitting at home and reporting from where I live. That's because after returning from Hubei province at the heart of the coronavirus outbreak, everybody's told you need to go into quarantine. You can't be exposed to others for several weeks. This city, Beijing, if I look out the window, it's dead. I mean, there are hardly any people in the streets. Friends here don't want to go outdoors. That's because they're afraid of catching the coronavirus. And the same is happening all over the country, all these mega cities in China.